Hello there, welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to follow up on this example that we left off with last time, and now we're going to take a look inside of the simulation results. I think for this tutorial, for this video, I'm actually going to open this up in interactive mode and go from tutorial 1, import all of the things. So we run the simulation, and amongst other things, here's our simulation object. Now, what can we look at in terms of what's inside of the simulation? Well, for one thing, we could actually take a look at the nodes that were in the simulation. There's an arrival node where in Q's implementation, that's where the customers arrive, or the patients, or the information packets in a telecom network, or goods that are being transported in a transportation network, whatever the thing is that is flowing through your network. The arrival node is where they arrive into the simulation. Node 1 is the only kind of transient node that we have here where things might be there for a time and come and go. And then the exit node is where the customers, as we'll continue to call them, end up. So we can, because it's just a Python list, we can select the different nodes one at a time if we wish. Easy enough. And we could access attributes from within them. Maybe we want to see what sim nodes, what's in that. There's really quite a lot of things inside of these data structures, so we're not going to dwell on that. But nonetheless, that's a list, and you can do things with lists, of course. Now, next up, let's maybe take a look inside of all of the individuals that went through the simulation. So I can go to simulation object and nodes, and here I'm going to get the last node, which remember is the exit node. And then from there, I can go all individuals. And this gets us all of the individuals that were the customers that went through this service. They arrived, some of them maybe had to wait, some didn't, but all of them were in this simulation served, and then they left the simulation or left the main part of the network that we were interested in. Now, we could look at other nodes. We don't have to just look at all individuals. We could look at the first node, which is the node number 1. And you can see this is the set of individuals that at the end of the simulation were in that middle node, in the node that we just call node 1. Okay, so what else can we take a look at? Well, maybe we want to do some analysis of some of the records. We're not going to get very involved in this video, but just to take a quick peek at things, we might grab an example individual from our simulation. So maybe for the customers that had their service actually completed, I might go sim.nodes and then all individuals. And I'm just going to grab an example individual and put that in ind. Okay, so this was individual 2. I might try looking at ind, and there are data records that are associated with each individual that went through the simulation. In this case, there's only one. If I take a quick peek, I can see there's a bunch of information in that. Now, let's just grab that record. There's only the one, so let's just take a look at an example. I messed up my indexing. There we go. So that's our record. There's a bunch of things in here, like the ID number of the record itself, the customer class, and the original customer class. We haven't covered what any of that stuff means yet. This is a record for node 1, meaning that when we then read the follow-up attributes of things like arrival date and waiting time and service start date and service time and service end date and time blocked, etc., those are all numbers that correspond to what was happening for that customer at that queuing node. And so this individual would arrive at some time. In this case, they waited for 0 units of time, but some of them will wait for non-zero amounts of time before they get to have their service start. The start time was at 7.9 minutes, and the service time, the service date, was at almost 8 minutes, and the service time was approximately 3 minutes. And the end date of when they completed the service was almost at 11 minutes into the simulation. That is all in terms of simulation time, not actual time. No amount of time was blocked, but we haven't talked about what blocking is. The exit date, that is the simulation time that they left, was also was exactly at 10.88, etc. And then the destination, which says -1, is corresponding to that same list of nodes when we went sim.nodes. That is, -1 is the last element at the right, meaning the exit node, meaning out of the rest of the simulation. And there's some other information here about how big was the queue when they arrived and when they departed. There's a server ID, so that's which of the 3 servers in the last video, and we talked about there's 3 servers in this simulation. And then the record type was service, meaning that they were completing a service at the node. There are other types of records that we will cover in future videos. So hopefully that was a useful first peek inside of the results of a queue simulation, and I look forward to sharing the next tutorial with you soon enough. Take care.